What is going on, guys? This is Skyhound, also known as Geek Archivist Xavier Pierce. As you can see, I'm actually on my official main Twitter account, and I heard about this, you know, a few weeks ago. But to give some context, I will have to give a quick shout out not just to also Ricky Jean, who I'm also setting on here, but Retro Rewind as well when they brought this up. This is probably like the third time that I came across this tweet. And before I give any more context on this, I will have to reference you guys to a tweet that I did on my media account, which cites not only this, but a producer who was also an actor that actually worked on the OG Neverending Story. Let that sink into your heads. I am talking about a man that was roughly 91 years old and was a producer who worked on this original film that Disney is trying to kill. Let me say it again. Disney is trying to kill this IP. If that doesn't make things clear enough, I am not sorry to say this, but you are not paying attention. As harsh as it sounds, and I'm being difficult about this, these people who have watched this know it more than me, have watched it multiple times, know the lines like the back of their hand. So if you think you're going to try and insult me on this, and you're going to try and insult the intelligence of these people who like this story and who like this film, fuck you. I'm not apologizing, and I will never apologize for it. But with that being said, I will now direct you to my original video that was covering a stupid hashtag. So stupid, in fact, that I was the only person on this planet that cited it. Because some others did the work already, and I dared to give those people credit because most people don't know how to read. Before I direct you guys to the mobile video that I did on Twitter, I do want to point out, even though I did say yesterday, this did happen last month, and the day that I heard about this was one thing. The day I decided to do the recording on my phone was obviously the day after the news broke out. So, again, I already provide context on this, and I know I'm not going to be the only one that brings up this modern attempt at killing another IP. I'm just saying. What's going on, guys? This is Skyhound, also known as Geek Archivist Xavier Pierce. So, I wanted to share this little tweet I did yesterday. And as it states here, there was a stupid trend going on called Rip Mark. So, I did some digging around and I came across a couple of tweets. I did a screenshot, then I made this tweet. It was around 6:15 in the morning, roughly around there, give or take. And then, unbeknownst to me, the damn tweet went supernova. And I'm going, what the fruit? Look at this. 160k views, 44 reposts, 9 quotes, 261 likes, 52 bookmarks. All I was doing was stating an obvious fact, giving clarification, and of course, those that are curious as to what it was about, I already had the proof. And then, of course, I had some retarded liberals, detractors, those retarded clowns of Black Lives Matter, you know, liberal blacks, feminazis, pronoun tards, those terrorist wannabes that talk out of their ass, those freaks. And frankly, I wasn't that surprised. I mean, now I remember the time, around 6:19 a.m. And of course, there are some that at least understood what I was trying to do, but most, unfortunately, are retarded shits. Super retarded. And obviously, I fired back on some of those clowns. They keep complaining about shit. And frankly, I'm not that surprised that majority of these idiots don't know how to read, as I pointed out in my tweet. At least I read, for fuck's sake. And I don't joke around about that. Obviously, I did some digging a little bit later, hours later. Turns out this actor did produce a particular classic fantasy film that some people like, The Neverending Story, which was a bit surprising. I didn't know this actor. Those who like his work obviously recognize him. And, it sucks that he's gone. I mean, there's some films that he's in that I might take a look at. I mean, if you like this guy's work, most probably just tell me, just look him up on IMDb. Fair. I get that. But obviously, as I stated, at least some people are capable of reading, unlike other narcissist morons. The funny thing is, when they keep trying to throw this back at me, all I know is this. Number one, they just outed themselves. Number two, they're talking out of their ass. Number three, they lack an education, specifically quality-wise. And four, these couch potatoes are so freaking bored with their pathetic existence that they have nothing else to do except be a total jackass. And I'm not apologizing for calling those losers out. Frankly, the only reason why I, flipped the other side of the coin for a bit is because, well, it did what it intended to do. I was just providing context. And obviously, at least there's some people who knew that I was trying to make a certain point clear. Like this one, for example. Those that knew about what the actor was and who he was, I was the only one out of every other freaking moron eventually. Once the clarification started to come about, they're like, oh, this is what it was about. But there's obviously one particular bit that caught my attention, and someone was actually doing the whole Batman Beyond Blight quote. Do you have any idea of how hard it is to narrow that down? I mean, I'm just paraphrasing here, but they were using that quote because stupid losers on Twitter keep doing stupid trends for whatever fucking reason. And then, I doubt they'll actually do community notes. But then again, I hardly even rely on those because most of the time, either some Twitters are stupid or they provide some retarded context that they pull out of their ass, and whatever shit they find online, they assume, oh, that's a fact. Total bullshit. But anyway, just giving my general thoughts on me just trying to provide context on this late actor. There is an article I did find online. I don't know how long it's going to be on there, but the funny thing that I've learned over time is that for some of these articles, I might as well document the hell out of it first, then try to transfer it through some means, archive it, and then if the need comes, at least I can provide it for somebody. Because frankly, on the internet these days, you gotta do the exact opposite sometimes when it comes to dealing with clowns who can't read and who are illiterate and who are bored with their pathetic existence. Most would say ignore. I get that. But sometimes there are those ones that are just so flippin' dumb that you have no other choice but to document, mock, and then basically point out this clown loves to talk out of his ass and has no idea what he's talking about. But anyway, rip to Mark Damon. And for those who enjoy his work, you have my sincerest sympathies, apologies, and prayers. And for those who knew him, you have my prayers and sympathy. This is Geek Archivist Pierce, signing off for now. Before I forget, I will put in the link down below in the description the article. There is one that I found from The Hollywood Reporter, but there was another one that I found, I think it was on Yahoo. I don't know if it's still there, but again, this actor, Mark Damon, is the guy who passed away at 91 years old. Again, for those of you guys who remember that stupid hashtag #RipMark and you guys were confused, well, now you have the context in terms of how stupid people on Twitter are. So you're welcome in terms of me trying to provide context. For those of you guys who like his work, again, like I said in the video, you have my sympathies and you have my prayers. Also, my prayers and sympathies go to his family and his friends and those who knew him. I'm just saying, there is a reason why the whole saying of get woke, go broke exists. It applies to most things. There is a reason why it states, willfully overlook known evils. Overlook, translation, ignore. Willfully ignore known evils. You want another translation? Fine, I'll give it. Turn a blind eye to known evils. That is what ignoring means. If you can't understand that, that is never my problem. That is eternally your problem. But yeah, enough about me bashing modern nonsense. I know most people are going to say, we didn't ask for this. And you are correct. None of you guys deserve this. None of you guys asked for this. It is pedo Disney lunatics pushing this stuff and killing characters that you like and grew up with. They are insulting your intelligence. That is what Disney is doing. And they are wondering why they are losing money. This is why. This is why. I mean, it's not rocket science, people. It isn't that difficult. But yeah, enough about that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I'm likely not going to be the only one covering this, but at least I tried to provide some context. I don't know if any of the other channels that I know, like Nerdrotics or World Class Bullshitters or even Clownfish TV, shout out to those people if they are going to cover it. I know they might. It could almost sound like a rumor, but with the way how modern media is these days, my apathy is through the roof. Practically broke the stratosphere, for heaven's sake. And I'm not surprised anymore. Should anybody be? Nobody should. But they're at it again. I mean, look at what happened with their take on trying to destroy, scratch that, they already destroyed Splash Mountain. And again, Neon Geeky Sparkles, I'm giving a quick shout out to you two. Also, before I forget, happy Father's Day to you, Neon. You guys already covered, the whole debacle with, the Princess and the Frog stuff that they're trying to do by killing, emphasize the word killing, Splash Mountain. And it's not going well. So kudos to you guys covering that. And I'm just saying, good job to those of us who are actually trying to notify the people in terms of what Disney is doing and why it's not working.